Hello, once again, Star Wars unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, and this is the rest. Part 2 of our comic book pack shelf talk. Here are the rest. Oh my goodness. I did not realize. These things have been coming out every year for several years. I just did not realize how many there were. We have so many we got to get through. And honestly, I'm pretty sure I got most of the collection, okay? But I didn't get all of them. I'm pretty sure I missed a couple. If you happen to know, once you go through the last episode and this one, and you see one that, or you don't see one that you know is out there, let me know, okay? This might be one of those things where I might want to try to see what I can come up with. All right, now, this is stacked up ever so gently. It's like playing a game of Jenga. So I'm going to be very careful as I go through one. And we're going to start right out of the gate. Boba Fett and RA-7 droid. This is from Star Wars number 81. Okay, and this came out 2007. A lot of these were out in 2006, 7, 8, 9. Okay, but there you go. A nice little paint of Boba Fett and an RA-7 droid. Again, some of these were very much just repacks or repaints, and that's okay. All right, gotta be very gentle. By the way, I did also come across a double. I did find a double, which I'll probably end up, doing, unboxing on a future episode. Okay, this is Star Wars number 4, as in the original Star Wars comic book, Marvel comic books number 4, Luke Skywalker and R2-D2. Essentially the same as other figures, but they've been repainted to look a little bit more like their comic book counterparts. So there's a few of these, and if you look back, this is, I think, a couple of them that I unboxed. Like, I think I unboxed one with Vader and Tarkin from one of the Star Wars original comic books. This also came out in 2006. So originally, I think they were looking to just kind of copy all the Marvel comics, but then they started really, opening up the floodgates. Okay. This is Revenge of the Sith number 3. We have a Kashyyyk Trooper and a Wookiee Warrior. Look at the difference in size of those. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It's like an 8-foot Wookiee. I don't know if this is a full-out repack of one of the Revenge of the Sith action figure Wookiees. I think it looks like it might have been slightly different. I do love how it appears to have battle droid pieces in its arms. Nice little touch there. Cool. Okay. We have Star Wars number 44, incredible conclusion of the official comic adaptation of The Empire Strikes Back. So this is original Marvel. It says Dark Horse on it, but it was actually the Marvel comic Empire Strikes Back, including Lando Calrissian and a Stormtrooper. And as you can see, if you look closely, there is a slight repaint touch-up. In fact, looking interesting at the arms of the Stormtrooper are blue. I think that was based on either a misprint in the comic book or just an unusual artistic choice to make the Stormtrooper's arms blue. So that was cool. Okay, now we have Star Wars Classic number 1, The Early Adventures. Stormtrooper, looks like a Shadow Stormtrooper, and the Black Hole hologram. And it looks like some type of a droid that's part of the hologram. Okay, you can see, I'm just trying to move it around a little bit just so you can see against the glare. Pretty cool stuff there. Stacking this pile still has the last episode's figures on it, so I don't know how long this is going to go before I'm going to have to start coming up with something else here. Star Wars Republic number 79, Commander Keller and Galactic Marine. So you can see slightly different mock-ups there. Galactic Marine, kind of like a snowtrooper, but not exactly. 2007 this one came out. Star Wars Republic number 55, Obi-Wan Kenobi and ARC Trooper. Okay, looks like mainly repaints, repacks, although it looks like either, I think Obi-Wan has some kind of a spare head. Again, probably relating somewhat to the story in the comic. It's kind of a cool concept when you think about it. If you wanted to, you could have the comic books, take out the comic, read the comic, and then act it out with the figures. Okay, this is Star Wars number 69, and this is, I'm trying to think if this is a classic. This might be a classic one. And we have Princess Leia, and Toby Dala, which looks amazingly like a Boba Fett lookalike. I'm going to read this one. It says, Princess Leia is captured by slavers while searching for Dengar, a bounty hunter with information that can help her save Han Solo. So it looks like this might be a between Empire and Jedi episode, until her new Mandalorian friend Fen Shiza launches a daring raid to rescue her and his boyfriend friend Toby Dala, who is also a prisoner of the slavers. But before the day is done, there will be death and destruction in the City of Bones. Ooh, that's interesting. Cool. All right, and we're moving right along here, guys. Oh, Janek Sumber and Ammonin. Star Wars Empire, number 16, a Walmart exclusive. And Ammonin looks a lot like Amanaman, right? So probably a similar sculpt, although it does look a little bit different. One of the most anatomically odd figures ever, with huge arms that you can actually use to hold it up, and a cobra-like face. Very strange. All right, Star Wars comic heat just went on. Hopefully you can still hear me. Darth Vader, Rebel Officer, again from the original Star Wars comics that came out, and this looks like Star Wars number 1, very first comic ever. And you can see Vader has a slight different paint tint to it, and the Rebel Troopers look very different. So cool little nod to that early, very first, and I think that might have come out before the movie. All right, Star Wars comic packs number 37, Mouse in Disguise and Basso. Mouse and Basso in Disguise. Looks like a Duros. Reminds me of Cad Bane when he was escaping the clones, just as a clone. But there's a story there, an interesting story. It's, I have all these together. I don't really want to open them. I mean, I think this might be something I'd be willing to part with sometime down the road. But they're so interesting that it's kind of hard to say, no, I'm not gonna open them. Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Squadron, Baron Sunterfell and Hobby Clivian. Rogue Squadron number 24. Again, you got similar body sculpts to X-Wing and TIE Fighter pilots. And there's the comic book. Starting to lean a little bit here. I have to be careful. Okay, Clone Commando, Super Battle Droid, Star Wars Tales number 22. Okay, nothing too crazy about these, although the Battle Droid has an interesting paint scheme. Nice to see that. I think that they did a good job of mixing it up between certain ones that were complete repaints, others that were complete resculpts, and some that were pretty straight out simple. We have Star Wars Heir to the Empire, number 5. Luke Skywalker and Mara Jade. And there you have the power couple, at least in the legendary universe. You have the power couple. Mara Jade, Luke Skywalker, and a fancy little headdress that she could wear. Pretty cool stuff. Star Wars comic pack number 3 from the original Star Wars film comic adaptation. Chewbacca and Han Solo. And again, if you look closely, you can see they're probably figures that we've had before, but the paint apps are very different, especially on Chewbacca's face, but also on the reflectiveness of Han Solo's Stormtrooper gear. It's like they tried to paint it up, all these figures from the original, like those 4-color original comic book style. So, kind of cool. All right, we got Star Wars Infinities. Okay, Star Wars Infinities is like the Marvel What If series, okay? It took one part of the story and made it slightly different. And in the case of Star Wars, I think the idea was, what if Luke didn't blow up the Death Star? What if he was unsuccessful? What would have happened? And there we have Darth Vader and a very different looking Princess Leia, and I think the Vader looks like the early Ralph McQuarrie sketch. Again, I'm sorry for the glare. So pretty cool stuff there. There's a couple of Infinities in here. We've got Star Wars The Hunt for Aura Singh, which is Asharad Het and Dark Woman. Star Wars number 31. it's just amazing when you think about it. I mean, like all the stories that have existed just in the Star Wars movie universe and the Clone Wars Rebels universe and the Resistance universe, that small cartoon universe, and the Mandalorian. And now, look at all these comics that had their own stories. Crazy. Okay, we got about 12 or 13 more. Luke Skywalker. This is Star Wars Republic, number 57. Anakin Skywalker and an assassin droid. And the Anakin Skywalker looks vastly different than previous versions, or at least other versions. And the assassin droid has a kind of a zany look on its face. Very nice. Okay, it seems to be balancing nicely. We've got Star Wars Obsession, number 3. Anakin Skywalker and Dirge. Both characters released in other ways. Although, again, Anakin looks very different. At least the head sculpt. And Dirge, well, we've had Dirge from the Clone Wars Genndy Tartakovsky series. That was figured, that character existed there. So we've seen him before. Then we have Star Wars Comic Packs Republic number 69, Asajj Ventress, and Toll Score. Toll Score in 7 years ago. Toll Score looks like Thor. Pretty cool. Okay. Star Wars number 6. Looks like Legacy. On Tades Draco and Ganner Krieg. Very cool red armor. Definitely put together quite well to match the figures. Nice. This one came out in 2008. Oh, it's heavy. Star Wars Tales, number 21. Yuuzhan Vong and Kyle Katarn. Yuuzhan Vong, that very giant alien-like creature, were the main villains in the Star Wars Vector Prime. I think Vector Prime was the first book, but it was like that was like a series of 25 books. For those who don't know, I mean, there was some crazy stuff that went on there. Chewbacca died. Yeah, they killed Chewbacca. That's why I refuse. When they got rid of Legacy, when they made all of Expanded Universe Legacy, I cheered. Literally out loud, I cheered. Because how dare you kill Chewbacca? You can kill Han Solo. You can Luke can become one with the Force. Leia can become one with the Force. I'm good with all those things. But Chewie lives, man. Chewie's an old Wookiee. It was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far. I bet he should still be alive. And then, of course, Kyle Katarn was the character from the Shadows of the Empire series. I'm going to be careful with that because Yuuzhan Vong kind of weighs a lot. All right, and we got Star Wars number 68, Fen Shaisa and Dengar. Mandalorian Super Commando Fen Shaisa struggles to free Mandalore from the grip of slavers. His close friend is Toby Dalla and has been captured by slavers, but Shaisa has someone they want even more, the bounty hunter Dengar. So, again, some stories that led to some interesting kind of sidebars on how to find Han Solo while he was in Carbonite. Stuff that took place between Empire and Jedi. Okay, we got Star Wars number 1. I think this is I'm not sure. I guess it's like a newer number 1 for a new series. Coffee Arana and Baltar Swan. Again, these are characters, guys, I'm not really too familiar with. I haven't read most of these comics, but I did love the comic pack, and I did love the characters. Okay, and they're different, right? But they look like they would fit right in the Star Wars universe. Look at how high. This is down to the floor. It is almost my height. I'm about 5'10", so we're looking at close to 4'10" at this point. So it'll be almost close up to my head. All right, we got Star Wars number 2. Darth Talon and Cade Skywalker. Okay, Star Wars Legacy. This is part of the Legacy pack. Legacy took place like 100 and something years ahead of the Star Wars Luke and Leia characters that we know. So they were all presumed gone, and I think even Luke is a Force ghost at that point. This is in the Legacy, legendary series, no longer canon. But here is the Cade Skywalker. It's kind of like I don't think he's a Jedi, but I think he has. And then there's some Force powers, and then there's Darth Talon, who's kind of like if Darth Maul and Aayla Secura got together and There was a Twi'lek that was also a Sith that did a lot of body tattoos. Kind of weird. All right. Wrapping it up. All right. Shadows of the Empire. Speaking of what I said before about Dash Rendar. No, that's Kyle Katarn. I was wrong. Kyle Katarn wasn't in Shadows of the Empire. Kyle Katarn was in Dark Forces. Sorry, that was a video game. But Shadows of the Empire was the one that featured Prince Caesar and Leia Organa. And that was a little freaky. That was a little weird. Caesar had these pheromones that made every woman want him. And he was trying to get information from Leia. So he was trying to make Leia fall in love with him. And she almost was. And this is in between Empire and Jedi. So she was conflicted because she still loved Han. And the whole point of her going out doing this mission was trying to get Han. And there she was, like, getting seduced by Caesar. It was a little weird. But she didn't actually, spoiler alert, didn't follow through. Managed to resist. All right, wrapping up. Got 3 more. Star Wars number 6. Oh, the names. Ulic Qel-Droma and Ixar Kun. Ixar Kun I've heard of. All right. There you go. Nice characters, right? Please help. Please do not have this thing by the Force. Please do not have this fall down. All right, I know this just by looking at the back. I know that this is Heir to the Empire number 1. Grand Admiral Thrawn and Talon Karrde. Grand Admiral and Talon Karrde, 2 main characters in that. And you can see Admiral Thrawn has got that Issa Lamiri kind of creature wrapped around his neck. Those were really cool. A really cool story feature. Those are creatures that could resist the Force. They would actually be able to push back on the Force. All right, and the very last one we have is this is Star Wars Empire number 1. Darth Vader and Grand Moff Trekta. Okay, and if you want to know more about all these characters, check out anything, online comics, or go to your nearest comic book store and see if you can find some of these old legendary. These are all legend. All these stories have become legend comic books. Okay, so they've never done any comic book packs for the new, Disney-owned Star Wars. I kind of hope that they bring it back. I think it would be a really cool thing, although a limited series. This is how many. Now, there are probably 5 or 6 even more than this. Okay, so you're looking at 6 feet tall, or close to 6 feet tall of these. But nonetheless, they are really cool. I'm really happy to have been able to amass the collection of them. I don't see these as something I'm going to do unboxings of, although I think that could change. I might do some of them, maybe some of the more rare ones. I don't feel the need to have to unbox another Darth Vader. I mean, we have enough Vader. I did unbox one Vader and Tarkin because they were very, very oddly colored. So I thought it was an interesting thing to add to the loose collection. But as far as the rest of these, if I do any of them, there were no more doubles. I only had 1 double, which I will unbox. But the rest of them, I will most likely keep them carded. And maybe if I do some unboxings, I'll try to do some that are a little more unique and unusual. Okay, so that's my 2-part series on the comic 2-packs. Great idea by Hasbro. Hope they consider bringing those back for current comics that have been coming out. And it's just great to have such a large collection of Star Wars figures that are not part of the standard figure line, and something that seems like really hard to do. I mean, I was mentioning in previous episodes, there have been so many characters that have not been made into figures in the movies themselves. I mean, think about all of, like, in the sequel trilogy, think about all of the Maz Kanata bar patrons, or the Canto Bight patrons in the casino, or, even Rise of Skywalker. There's all the different characters that were part of the rebellion, or the guards and stuff that were helping with the Emperor. I mean, there's a lot of characters that we did not, or all of Kijimi. There were characters on there we could have had. So it'll be really nice if we can get some more of these kind of figures, and I don't mind if they're movie accurate or if they're comic book accurate. Hasbro, I hope you can maybe consider doing that. That'll do it for this week's episode, or this current episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show Shelf Talk. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button if you like what you see. Spread the news about the channel. Let other people know about it. Leave comments, guys. I'm always interested in hearing your thoughts. Again, if you've seen something that, or you didn't see something that you know exists as a comic 2-pack, please let me know. Maybe it's something I'll try to track down and add to the collection. All right. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support the channel a little more, check out my TeePublic store. The link is in the description. And check out some of the cool Star Wars art, Star Wars and Darth Tuba art that you can put on shirts and masks and mugs and all sorts of stuff. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time, may the Force and the toys be with you.